Alright guys, so essentially we're going to just do some basic rendering styles right now, just to take a look at what's going on in the Revit interface. So we got our basic model here, and what we're going to do is we're going to just do a couple of test renderings and see what's going on. Essentially you can go here to your visual styles and obviously go into your wireframe, go into your hidden view here. You can go into your consistent colors and obviously your realistic. There are a couple of cool things that you could do just with these views that I kind of like personally. Say for instance, if you want to click here and you go to graphic display options, there's a couple of options that you have here, right? And for me, like you could do a couple of things, but say for instance, if I want to cast the shadows, I have to turn on my sun and all that stuff. But let me do that first. So essentially, you know what? I'm going to set up my sun first. So I'm going to go to my sun settings, and what I'm going to do is on default, it shows your lighting. And you can't really see where your sun's at when you're doing that, so you'll just do still day. And we'll do summer solstice, right? And we'll say that our ground plane is, we could say it's at level 1 if we wanted to. We'll press apply, we'll press OK, and then we could put our sun path on, right? So now you could see your sun, right? And whichever direction it is, okay? And if you go to your top view, it's intuitive. So you can click here, and you could change your dates here if you'd like, right? You can also click your sun and actually move your sun along this path, right? So if I wanted to put shadows on, see, you could see where your shadows will cast, right? But also note that if I would like to pull this way, it also changes the like season, right? Okay. So back to my 3D view here, and this is also like a good way to kind of figure out how you want your shadows to look in your renderings. And one of the things that I like when I do my display graphics is you could do a couple of different things. Essentially, the ambient shadows should be working. And what that does is it kind of gives you like a soft feel here. See that? So say for instance you don't have time to do a fast, like a 3-hour rendering, right? And you just want to do hidden line, right? And like, let me get this out of here for 1 second. And you kind of get it so that it's like, you know, nice and sexy little view. Say for instance something like that. And you know, I'll turn the sun path off so we don't have to see it. And we'll go here to graphic display, and you can go ghosted images, surfaces isn't like it's not like super refined yet, but I think that it'll give you something, you know, in the next versions of Revit that'll look real compelling. But if I were to do a quick presentation for like just for quickness, I would do a hidden line, always press apply, and then I would turn my ghost images off, and I would put my cast shadows in there, and I would always put my show ambient shadows. Watch how it looks when it's off. You know, it's not as soft. You're always getting. Let me put the sun in a much more dramatic position here. Bless you. So we got some dramatic shadows there. Graphic display. Turn on your ambient shadows. Boom. You know, you got something that you could show your clients, nice, quick, and easy, right? I'm sorry. Can you add? No, it's casting. It's casting it. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm showing the ground plane at. Let's see. So I can go like this. Go to sun settings, and then turn this off. Maybe like that. So it would go all the way down. Um, okay. So that's kind of just quick and easy. What you could do also is go to your top view, right? And you could also do this little drop down here, right? And this is where your perspectives come in. Okay, you got your camera, so you click it where you want to shoot it. That's where you're standing, and that's where your view is, right? Okay. And then it'll go to that view. Okay. And what you could do is you could click this little box here, and what happens is when you're in this view, it'll orbit within the view. Okay. So make sure you if you did this, you're going to be rotating within the frame. Okay. So this is within your view here. So I'm going to pan. Okay. I am going to zoom out, right? See how I'm panning? And I want to use this pan, right? Zoom in just a bit. Okay. Oh, right here at the side. Pan, bam. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is now that I have like a cool perspective view, I want to show you guys some render settings. So I'm going to go ahead and go here to the dialog, and there's a couple things you guys got to know about rendering. Okay. When you go into draft view, it's like your preliminary view. You're just kind of showing what's there real quick. So you could just render something out real fast, and you could render it and then see if the shadows are what you like, see if the materials are what you like. And if I went like this, that's kind of how it'll look. The more that you bring it up, the more time it takes, okay? So if you trade off for, say for instance, if this draft view here takes, we'll say, I don't know, it'll probably take like 30 seconds or something like that. It'll compound the time. So say for instance you want to do a low, it'll be like 2 minutes. You do a medium, it'll be 3 minutes. You be high, it'll be 4 minutes. But that's not the only thing that determines your time, right? It's also your pixels, okay? But I'm going to get to that. But I want to show you a couple of things that makes rendering a draft very important, okay? Because you're showing where the shadows are. You're showing how your materiality is, right? So I'm like, oh, this looks kind of plain. I think I want to change all these walls here to CMU or something like that, right? But also, I want to take a look at the resolution here, okay? So, for instance, if I went to low, okay, wait. Let me slow down. So, if you click this on and off, you have one cache. So it'll cache it, and it'll show you your preview. So what you could do two things. You could save your rendering to your project, and you just go like this. Yay, it's there. You go here, and it should be under renderings. There it is, right? You can also export it right? And save it as a PNG. I would always recommend because it saves your alpha channel. Save it there. Otherwise, it's lost. Okay. Um, and what you could do, say for instance, if you're like, okay, that looks kind of good. Let me go to medium and see how that comes out. Okay. And it's probably going to render. Probably going to take twice as long, so 10 seconds, whatever. But I just want to show you guys like the difference of the two. Okay. So here comes more sophisticated rendering. The Mental Ray engine is calculating everything much more precise. Regarding the shadows, the materials, etc. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to export this and put 3D image 2. Okay. As a PNG. Okay. So I'm going to double click this. Where's my Photoshop? I'm going to open up Photoshop. Just want to show you guys the difference, okay, of the two. I know some people know about rendering, but some people it's their first thing. So I got to get the basics down. So if you look at this is the low, and then this is the high. Okay, low, high. I think I accidentally pressed region, so it's cropping it. But if you could tell, the low and the high, right? So I guess the way I could do this is just, I could crop it, but I don't want to spend too much time on this. Okay? So say for instance, I'm like, oh, I like that, but I want it to be printer quality. Okay? So there's a difference between screen quality and printer quality. Printer quality here is like what actually prints out on a printer, and your DPI is high, and it's nowhere near the low quality of a screen print. So you go to your printer options, right? And I prefer to make sure that everything's at 300 DPI. Okay, that's just me. And now look at how high your megabytes are, right? So now we're talking about the quality of your mental ray, how many passes it does, and then secondarily, your resolution. So those are the two main things that determine your time frame. Okay, and then your lighting here. Say for instance we're doing an interior view, right? You're going to want to change this to interior with sun and artificial. Okay, I'm going to get into artificial lighting probably on Sunday to show the different families that have lighting on it. But just for here, I'm going to show that I'm picking the sun, right? And then the sun setting, it's saying, the lighting is, it's already predetermined. So we have the still day. We're using it just like how we have it. Click that.
One thing that's interesting too is that if you look at the settings in that dialog box, the sun setting, go back to that day.
Yeah.
And you look at the settings and you look at location, it's going to give